In this video, I'm going to show you how to pull an entire business website into a knowledge base file step by step using n8n. You will save hours on every project. And the best part, you build it once and you can reuse it for all your future clients. Now I'll walk you through step by step the entire setup. Let's dive in. So let's get started on creating that automation that's gonna create the knowledge base for our agents, our rack system, our voice callers, things like that from a website. So we're gonna go to VAPI, and this is the name of, sorry, not VAPI, to Apify. And this is the one that we're gonna use. I'm gonna put the link below the video. It's the website content crawler. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this one, this website as an example. And we're gonna put this right here. Then it's gonna load URLs from sitemap. We can leave this on, this, crawler settings. I don't think we need to change anything on that, but we can see the result and adjust if needed. HTML processing, wait for dynamic. I don't think there's anything dynamic on that website, but if you were to do, you might need to adjust some of the settings here. I mean, if you don't know what that is some websites, they load some content that loads more content after the fact. So it takes some time. So that's why it's waiting for this to happen. Like, for instance, YouTube does that. Anyway, let's move on. I don't think we need to change that. And the output settings, save as markdown. Why not? It's okay. HTML to dataset, we don't know, it's deprecated. Save hours, we don't need that. Save screenshot, we don't need that. I think that's like the out of the box default configuration is fine. We can save it. All right, so we have this and we can start it and run it manually, but well, actually maybe let's give it a try. So we're gonna start the run, and this is gonna go and start the scraper to scrape the website. So I'm gonna fast forward till this is done. All right, so it just finished. And as you can see, this is a pay as you go per usage, not as you go per usage. It costed me 16 cents to run this on the website. And so what it did is, if we go to storage, we got the data set and we can see sorry, not the storage, in the text. Right here, these are the details of each pages, and we have all the information that's written there. So we have each page's content right here. So now the goal of this is to get all this information and put that inside a huge text file. Put them together. We will also add the title, which we're going to use the web page URL. Just so this is going to create the knowledge base for our agent, our voice caller, or voice agent, and anything, or RAG system, whatever you need for a specific business. This is it. So let's build that automation now. So we make this automated. So we are going to start with a trigger manually, at least for building it. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna go about it, but what we need is to call that scraper with the specific URL that we're gonna provide. And then we're gonna need to wait that the scraper is done. So either we poll every minute to check if it's done, if the run is done, or maybe we use the webhook from the, because there's a webhook inside Apify that can call our automation. So we might build this way because it's gonna be cleaner. And then we're gonna process the dataset, which is everything from this. And we're gonna store that into one text file. That's all we need to do. That's the outcome, because that text file at the end, we can copy the content, put it inside our voice agent, for instance, like in VAPI like this. If you create an assistant, we can put that below this. There's the files, that's for the knowledge base. It's very useful for all those tools. All right, let's go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this from the, and this is just to set my Apify key. And I'm not going to open it because I don't want to have to change my API key. And I'm going to copy this just for, all right. Let's do this. Let's do this. This is going to be the call to Apify. All right, let's do another one. Set fill. And let's do add field, and this one is going to be website. Let's do client website. And for value, so we're going to put this URL, and this is what we're going to configure manually to trigger the automation. Okay, not here. Let's put it right here. Okay, let's clean that up. I'm going to rename this as set client website. Okay. And all right, let's rename this as scrape website. Rename it. Let's go here and we're gonna change this. So if we go back to that actor, we can do app API, and we're gonna do API endpoint, and we can copy the URL, which is gonna copy it with my token and get that dataset. I don't know if we want to run it synchronously, honestly, because it can be pretty long, especially if you process a big website. So let's make it asynchronous. So we're going to use this, and I'm just going to up to runs. Obviously, when you are building that yourself, you can just copy that. It's going to copy your token as well. But I just don't want to show that on the video. I think that was /run. Yeah, /run and then the token. Okay, so we should be good with that. Now, let's go back to this. Now that we've copied this, we're going to check the JSON, which is the configuration of that crawler, of that scraper. I'm going to copy the entire JSON because it's configured based on what we set right here in the manual version. It contains that URL, but we're going to change this to be dynamic. So let's open this. That's right here. Let me zoom in maybe. All right, so the body JSON, specify body JSON, and this is the expression. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, paste the new version, and this is what we're going to change. We're going to change this to this, so we can take this client website. Now this is set, so now it's going to take the input, the website, as the parameter right here. So when it runs, it's going to use this. It's to retrieve the data once it's scraped. Either it's pretty short and we can do a synchronous call. I think I mentioned that earlier, which we're probably going to do that for this example. So I'm going to make the adjustment. Sorry, we're going to have to go back to this. We're going to have to go back to the input and do API endpoint, and we're going to adjust to this. And we're going to do a run actor synchronously and get dataset item. I'm changing just because it's going to be easier to build this right away. And right now I'm targeting websites that are pretty small. But the right way to do it is to build it with a webhook. So what it does is this, because I'm putting this here, this URL, it's going to start the scraping actor and it's going to keep running until it's done. And when it's done, it's going to move on to the next step. So now that the data are scraped, so we're going to add an aggregate. That's the next step. But first, while I'm thinking about it, what I did is I went ahead and saved the data. I pinned them, which is going to make the process easier. So I click that button. So now, from that last run that I did that scraped the website, now the data are stored and pinned. So it means that I can now keep building and execute the next steps of the workflow without having to re-execute everything from before, including scraping again the website, because it takes time and it costs a bit of money. So this makes the process easier to keep building. All right, so now we're going to aggregate the data. And we're going to select all item here, this, and we're going to select specific field, specified certain fields. We're going to use URL first, and we're going to get the text. So we have the two. If we execute the step, we're going to see that output as a JSON being a list, and each entity has a URL and a text. All right, now I want to format that properly. So what I did is I created a little code. So we're going to run some code. So what I did is I copied this, I put it into ChatGPT, which is right here. See, and I said, this is the output of an N8N node scraping website information. I just want the URL and the text and skipping lines in between. And can you create the JavaScript code? And it generated the code for me right here. I can paste that into this. And now if I execute, now the formatted text is all set the way I want. And the last thing we need to do is to convert this into a file. And we're going to do text file. And we're going to take the formatted text, put it into the input field right here. And now if I execute this, you can change the name with options if you want different name, file name. I can download it. And if I open this file that we just created, oh, come on. All right, and if I zoom in, as you can see, we have the URL, then the information from the inside, then the sitemap, and then we keep having all the URLs and all the text for each of them, each of the pages. So everything is in one file. And just to recap what to use it for, you set the URL of the business you want to scrape, their website. It's going to process and extract all the information and put that into a single file that you can use as context for your AI chatbot or a voice agent. If you want to learn how to sell AI automations to businesses or simply learn how to build those type of automations, feel free to join my free community. The link is just below this video, and I'll see you in the next one.